Next thing I know, we're at the train station. Everything's cool. I'm about to head back home, and we end up being on the wrong platform. So they're like, hey, we actually need to be on the platform across the way. Now, like I said before, I'm from Tampa. I don't know these things. Uh, in Tampa, for the people who don't know, most people have cars. Public transportation is the city bus if you have to ride it. But for the most part, people just get around by cars, bikes, stuff like that. All the rest of the stuff is not a real thing. So we I don't know train systems, right? So I just pretty much the whole time I was there, I just take the word from people who were from either New York or the Northeast or had been living there for a while and they understood train systems, and I just say, all right, cool. I just drink my drink and follow the leader, right? Sorry, another drink break. And so we're cooling, and they're like, yeah, we got to get over to the other platform. So I dug back into my 10th grade geometry class that taught me the closest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And it's been true to this day. That's just a fact of life. So I said, well, if all I have to do is get over there and we only have a couple minutes before the train gets here, then the fastest way to get there, obviously, is a straight line. So I jumped the tracks. And as soon as I jumped off, that old meme is like, it was at this point that he knew he fucked up. Before I even hit the air, like before my feet were even off the ground, as soon as I started leaning, I was like, nah, this is a mistake. It was too late. So I fell. My knees immediately folded like paper bags in lawn chairs, and I immediately hit the ground, scrape up my knees, my chin hits the ground, scrape that up. I'm bleeding out of my knees and my chin, and so I start crawling. I crawl, I start getting back up, and then I start falling again. So I'm just standing up, taking a couple steps, falling. Standing up, taking a couple steps, falling. Anyway, I get over to the other side, and the way it was described to me is, I don't know if you ever seen, you know a baby when it stands there and his hands are just up, and it's basically got his hands flapping like it's like it's working a puppet. So my hands are doing that, and we're here to protect and serve, right? The police were right there. They came and they scooped me right the fuck up real quick. And they sat me down on the bench, started talking to me. Hey, are you okay? Where you from? Blah, blah, blah. So meanwhile, my wife and her friends are coming around the corner because they went under the platform, walked back up the stairs, and came back up the other side. And they come up to see me talking to all these police officers. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? So he's cool. Got no issues with the guy. He's trying to help me out. And luckily, none of them saw me. Because the story for them was, what happened? Well, we didn't see him, but I think he just fell. You can tell he's drunk. And I was like, yeah, fell. I definitely fell. Meanwhile, my wife is speaking German to him, holding it down. And she basically corroborated the story. And they said, okay, well, if he's got any kind of issues, and if he slowed the train down, then we're going to have to fine him. So I may or may not have warrants in Germany at this time. But it's all about living. Life's fun, right? So anyway, we get on the train. We go home. My dude, who used to be a medic back in the day, he patched up my knee. And if you ever see me, which I don't know if anybody will ever see me because I've been told I got a face for radio. And basically, one side of my chin is lower than the other side of my chin. So I normally take pictures with my head cocked a little bit to the side so it evens out my chin. But unless you knew that, you don't notice it. And such is life, right? So anyway, that's two of my favorite drink stories. And I got another one, which really should have been the one that kept me from drinking anymore. But here I am. So anyway, I'm in Belgium. And if you've never been to Brussels, it's a beautiful city. If you've never had a drink called Delirium, it's got a pink elephant on it, and it's official. If you've never had Belgian beers before, then you've done yourself a severe disservice, and you should try Belgian beers the first chance you get. Do some Trappist beers, and you will have made yourself, your stomach, and your brain, minus your liver, very happy. So anyway, we're in Belgium, and we're having a good time. We went to two different Delirium bars. There's two different Delirium cafes. We went to one, which is the main one. Is, I don't know, I want to say like hundreds of beers on tap. Anyway, so we had a good time there. And on the way there, my friend, who is biracial, he's black and white, he's bald-headed. So at the time, they were kind of having little tiffs and whatnot with Middle Eastern people. So everywhere we went, they were cool with me, which I was surprised with. But they were like, "Oh, Egyptian. Oh, he's Egyptian." I said, "He's not Egyptian. He's half of me, half of y'all. So just relax." They're like, "No, he's Egyptian." I said, "Look, well, he's with me. Trust me. He's a good dude. Don't worry about him." Anyway, we're heading on our way there, and there's this big Green Mile looking motherfucker who's standing outside of a club with his arms crossed, and he's telling people they can't get into the club, right? And there's a line that's around the corner. Looks like they're selling the new J's iPhone outside of this club, right? It's just a retarded line that I'm like, I'm not even trying to deal with that right now. So I'm trying to bypass. Next thing I know, I turn around and he's back to back with this dude, like they're posing for an album cover. I'm like, the kind of shit is this? So the dude sees him and he's mocking him. So every time he tells somebody no, my homeboy is like, no. And so he snaps and he's like, go, you go now. No. And he says some stuff in either French or Flemish or whatever he was speaking to him, right? So we leave, we go to that club, like I said. We start heading back. And I'm like, all right, let's do this other cafe. So we have some drinks there or whatever. And then we come back out. We get in line for this club. We get all the way up there, which I don't know why he didn't fucking just stop us from the, hey, remember that dog I told you about right now? Or last episode, he's over here with a squeaky toy. Get out of here. Hey, I love you. But you're ruining things right now, okay? Nobody wants to hear all the time. So if you give me 1 second, I will dispose of him. Well, that's not a good word. I will remove him from the situation, and I'll be right back. Give me 10 seconds. Ow. All right. I'm back. All right. Rugged and raw. It's not the most professional thing that I do. I just do it. So anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, we're in the line, right? So we're in the line. He's over here wasting my damn time by letting me get all the way through the line to get up to the front. Damn satyrs. I get all the way up to the front, and then he's like, you too? No. And I said, what? He goes, oh, I remember you. You too? No. And I was like, come on, man. Damn. We waited through the whole damn line. I'm dressed to impress. So is my man. Like, let us in here. And he's like, no. So he whistles. And I don't know if you know about Belgian cops, but they're about that action. So next thing I know, there's a van, which I didn't notice at the beginning, but there's a van at the top of the hill at the end of the street. And they all pile out of it. And they on some gangbuster shit. So they all come down for two people, for me and my man. They all come out and they're saying some stuff to me. So I speak my little weak ass German to them, which if you didn't know, if you ever go to Belgium, they kind of got some bad blood about World War II and history and all that. So speaking German to them it turns out it's a terrible idea. Don't ever do it. Because as soon as I started speaking German to them, that's when the nightsticks came out. I got my ass whooped all the way up and down that street. And it was bad. And the worst part about it, I think the thing that pissed me off about it the most was the big swole dudes who hopped out. They were cool. The females that hopped out, they were cool. The one who was just whooping my ass was the smallest one of the clique. He was this little mini-me looking cat with a pop eye, like one of his eyes was a little off, so maybe his eyes were off, so he was seeing like 5 of me. And he was like, I'm overworked, They're triple and double teaming me right now, and I gotta whoop all their asses, right? Anyway, so he's just whooping my ass all the way up. Meanwhile, my boy, who basically started this whole confrontation, is like, hey man, we can't beat him. We got to get up out of here. So he's holding back one of my arms and dragging me down the street while I'm swinging for the fences on some Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, straight on growth hormone shit, right? I'm swinging my ass off. And these dudes, this midget, little people, this little person's whooping the dog shit out of me, right? So anyway, I get my ass whooped all the way up the street, and we get back to the hotel, and he sits me down, and he's like, hey man, you gotta relax, man. You can't be fighting police out here and stuff. And I was like, dude, I was defending our honor. I don't know where you got that from, but like, you started the shit, and I'm about that action. Let's get it on. So he's like, nah, you can't be doing all that. So after that, I had a little moment. If you've seen Boys in the Hood, and you remember when Trey had his little run-in with the police, and they held him up against the car, and basically he came home, and right before Brandy gave him some, which, I'll swing it whatever you want for Nia Long to give me some. But anyway, I had one of those moments, and I just started going ham, and I started swinging on stuff. I flipped the bed over. I was knocking stuff off the counters, and he was like, come on, man, you got to relax. It's not that big of a deal. And I've never been so pissed off at somebody in my life. But anyway, we got over it, and that was another time where I stopped drinking. Until the next morning, where we went on a beer tour. And we toured Belgium and tried all kind of beers. There's beers that taste like bacon, which is the shit. And if I find the name, hit me up, and I'll maybe put that out there so you could try it. But it's a smoky type of beer. The shit's official. Anyway, like I said, I've been out for a minute, but didn't really know where I was heading with this, and I'm gonna try to keep the streak going for my fans. Both of y'all, love you, and hit me up. Like I said, you leave a message 757-389-2003 if you want me to talk about something, because I got some opinions for that ass. Trust me, I got some opinions on life and marriage, and I mean, you name it. You can talk about anything. You give me something to talk about, I'll give you my damn opinion on it, and it's gonna be the real. I always keep it real with you. I do a lot of things. One thing I'll never do is lie to you, and that's just who I am. So anyway, we're closing down on the last minute. Like I said, I like to keep it at 30 minutes or less, and I like to stop exactly on 30 minutes because I got a little OCD problem. So I got exactly 40 seconds. But the last thing that I'll talk about is in terms of just life as a whole. And I know the world's kind of in turmoil right now. We're trying to figure out where we want to go with everything. And a lot of people got a lot of opinions and, the way they feel about things. The one thing I will say is, we live in a world where a lot of people have a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different ways of looking at life and a lot of experiences. So you can't hold that against them. So in the meantime, just keep an open mind, an open heart, and listen to people and be real, be true to yourself. And that's all I got. Peace.